Ever since the tank, I've been consumed by the art. Like me in a room full of pain, and I'ma pour out my heart. Fuck what you think, I ain't the stars. The artist never been broke. I got a wealth of creativity, I'm born to poke.
It's your girl Naomi Lachey, back with another episode of Born to Poke for you guys. So listen, I know when we're looking for artists, a lot of people do not research their artists. I don't understand why. If you're going, and it's crazy because a lot of people like to research who's doing their nails, who's cutting their hair, who's doing their hair, but when it comes to artists, for some reason people do not put a lot of research in it. They just see something like, oh my God, I'm gonna go, but they don't really look into their social media to see if their artwork is consistent. Consistency is key with these artists. You will see an artist and they'll have like 3 dope tattoos. But if you scroll down a little bit further or scroll up, you will see the consistently is completely off. You have to make sure you are researching these artists, guys. And not only that, there's come to a little thing now to understand where people start to scam. People scam as well when it comes to tattooing. Not only people scamming, swiping them cards, you will be surprised. That's why you gotta check their social media for the consistency, because people now are taking other people's artwork and putting it on their social media. Yes, unfortunately, people are doing this. So you have to make sure you are researching. So research your social media. Make sure you research as far as like, I've gone as far as reaching out to someone they may have tattooed. Because nowadays, you know, with social media, they may tag someone they're tattooed. So just like you're doing a review on a restaurant, you may ask somebody, hey, how was the food there? Hey, how was this tattoo artist? Where are they located? Was their shop clean? Did they use clean needles? That you have to really go into detail when you are like asking these questions and researching. This is something that's on your skin forever. When you're old, you're gonna have this. So you have to make sure you are researching. So research the social media. Don't be afraid to reach out to someone and ask them and ask questions about the artist. Shops. This is the most important thing where I'm at now. You have to make sure you are researching and making sure they are in a shop. Yes, we have the tattooers or the tattooing in their home and everywhere else. However, you have to make sure when you are researching, the shop is the safest place to get a tattoo. That's my opinion. If you don't think so, that's on you, it's okay. But that's my opinion, because I know if I'm going into a shop, I know this shop has been inspected by the health department. I know that this shop is supposed to be cleaned on a regular basis. I know they have all the equipment that we're gonna need in case something happens. You know, if you're in somebody's house, you don't know who's coming in and out of that house, and if that house is clean, you don't know if they're using clean equipment. It's definitely not been inspected by the health department. We know that for sure. So you have to make sure when you are searching and researching and looking for someone to do your tattoo, make sure you guys are going to shops. You know, and I don't want to throw any shade on anyone or anybody, because I know, you know, some artists are starving artists, they're coming up, you know, but shops. You want to make sure your artist is able to do what you're wanting them to do. Some artists may be like, yeah, I can do this and the third, and they've never done it before. So you don't want to be that test dummy. You don't want to be a test dummy unless you know, want to be, and you have something set up prior to, and you've already come in and they know like, okay, this is my first time doing this tattoo, and you've agreed to be the test dummy. But don't be a test dummy and don't know you're the test dummy. That's what you don't want to do. So make sure you're making sure that the artist is able to do what you want to get done. You'll be surprised. That's all I'm gonna say. You'll be surprised. Another bit you want to make sure, always look for the tattoo permit. When you're going, they're always supposed to make sure they have their tattoo permit sitting up somewhere where you can see it. So if you don't see a tattoo permit, sometime you know, hey, you know, when's the last time you've been inspected? Nothing wrong with asking those questions. Nothing wrong. Make sure you're always watching to make sure they're opening new cartridges, new needles. Make sure everything is wrapped. Make sure they're wiping down everything. So these are some things that people don't normally look for because they're so excited about getting a tattoo when they come in that they forget to look for the things once they get in the shop and once they get in the chair. So outside of your researching before you come in, make sure you're paying attention to your surroundings and everything when you're inside the tattoo shop and you're inside that artist's booth. Another thing, make sure you guys are checking if you have any wording or numbers that's been put on your skin, okay? Check it. You will be surprised how many times a letter might have been left out or a number or anything. So I don't know if you guys read that consent form when you guys are going in there, but somewhere in there it says that you have agreed to what's been put on your skin. So you have to make sure that you are checking everything that's put on. So once they put that stencil on you, the stencil can be removed. Once that ink goes on you, it's a wrap. So make sure you guys are checking, making sure you're reading through. Make sure you check the spelling. If you got to pull out your phone and Google, make sure you're checking the spelling. One thing I know is a lot of people don't really research is like Roman numerals. Roman numerals are one thing that you need to make sure that you know what's being put on your skin, because you may think is 1x2 whatever, and you look next week and it's something completely different. Make sure you guys are checking those Roman numerals like 2 to 3 times. Another thing you want to make sure you do is make sure you're researching for your black shops. They are out there. I know a lot of people feel like, okay, there's not many black, they are out there. Our past trip to Atlanta, you will be surprised how many shops were out there that I did not know. So make sure you guys are researching your black shops, okay? A lot of our black shops, they may be hidden that we don't know about. Don't be afraid to ask. You ask Facebook everything else. Ask Facebook what these black shops at. Ask them. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody would know what a black shop is at. So make sure you guys are researching. We got to remember to keep spending our black dollar within our community, okay? I say that because I've had so many people come in. They may have been to a white shop. Nothing wrong with them at all. However, some people like coming to black shops where they feel like they're at home, they feel like they're welcome, they just enjoy being around their people. A lot of the shops you may walk into may not know how to tattoo our skin properly. That's another thing you want to make sure you're researching whenever you are researching. I know I said researching, but it's important. So that's one thing that when you're researching, you may want to check out, like I said, their social media. Check out and see, have they tattooed black skin? Check out and see how the artwork looks on black skin. So those are some other things you might want to make sure that you're actually looking to. Don't just look at the artwork. You have to look at how the tattoo and the ink flows onto the skin. So don't be afraid to ask the artist if you do decide to go to another shop. Hey, have you tattooed black skin before? Do you have any work that I can see? Don't be afraid to ask these questions in case you do decide to go to a non-black shop. There's nothing wrong with that, but make sure you do check and see where these black shops are. Most of the time, we're the most educated on knowing how to tattoo our own skin. You'll be surprised. A lot of people kind of get a little skeptical, like, I don't want to go to this black shop because whoop-de-whoop-de. If you're not researching and if you're not asking questions, you'll never know what experience you might be missing out of. You may have a piece that is like Egyptian, Afrocentric, whatever. Who's going to give you their energy the most for a piece like that? Think about it. So make sure you guys are researching the black shops. There are a lot out there. There's a new app coming out. We'll give you some information on that a little bit later, where it will be showcasing you and letting you know where the black shops are located. Make sure you guys are following us, liking us, subscribing to us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, okay? We are the #1 urban outlet for tattoo content, okay? Make sure you are following Born to Poke. We out.